everybody, welcome back to Check the Gate, a Film Lovers Deep Dive. I'm Bert, and as always, I'm joined with Brandon.
Hello.
And Michael.
Hello.
And today we are doing our final James Bond film in our James Bond series, 2006 masterpiece. And this time I say it truthfully. 2006 masterpiece, Casino Royale, about after earning a license to kill, secret agent James Bond sets out on his first mission to defeat a private banker funding terrorists in a high-stakes game of poker. Now, Brandon, you chose this. This was also your very first pick.
Yeah.
Why this movie?
Just love it. It's so good. Everything about it is so good.
No.
The script, the actors, I mean, it's just beautiful. It's just...
It's so interesting. Like, we spent a lot of time last week just kind of dunking on Die Another Day. Like, all three of us, obviously, maybe me a bit more. It is such an insane palate cleanser to then go into this movie.
Yes.
By the way, written by the same two guys, Purvis and Wade.
Isn't that wild?
So I don't... like, it's insane to me how it's just like, we'll still bring the same guys back, and then they'll just pump out something awesome.
Run it back and try again.
Yeah.
Michael, what is your history with this movie? Had you seen this one?
I can't really recall that I said what I said if I'd seen it or not, but I think I'd seen parts of it. Mm-hmm. But yeah, I fucking hated this movie.
For realsies?
No, I fucking loved it.
I was like, damn, hit the music.
Lies. Record scratch.
Michael's turning heel.
Even like 30 minutes in, I was like, I am thoroughly enjoying this movie.
Well, I mean, we're obviously going to get, but like, I remember the backlash of hiring Daniel Craig. We kind of mentioned it last time. It's just like, oh, a blonde James Bond is what like all the newspaper titles said.
Yeah.
This scrawny dude, they're kind of taking it back to the very beginning. We're rebooting the franchise. Not even like how when we get a new actor, they don't really consider it rebooting. This is truly a reboot. This is not quite his origin, but it's essentially his first mission in this movie. And I feel like, and I mentioned too that like this was the first Bond movie I'd seen in theaters. And I had seen a lot of, I mean, there's only 4, but like the Brosnan movies were on TV a lot, like on TNT and TBS, Dinner and a Movie, that kind of thing. And I remember just being like, I don't want to go see this James Bond movie. Not only that, but we're going to watch him play poker for 2.5 hours. Like, my dad was obsessed with the World Series, Texas Hold'em on the Travel Channel, World Series of Poker. Yeah. So he was watching that all the time. So we were going into this, and then by that parkour chase, which is like 15 minutes into this movie, I was like, all right,
I'm in.
Yeah.
I was wrong. I feel like the entire world owed Daniel Craig an apology after that movie. And it was just like, you know what? This is why we should just let you do your thing, and then after the movie, we decide if it's bad or not.
I was wrong about you.
Yeah.
My bad.
It is such... I don't know... Obviously, the tone completely shifts. Mm-hmm. We still have a couple of those cheeky one-liners, but like in a movie that feels very dark and grounded, those one-liners still, when used very sparingly... Actually, like that last hand nearly killed me, like that kind of thing. I was like, that is how you get away with a silly one-liner in a movie like this,
Yeah, and like his one-liners, I felt were like direct and added something to it, Like he's like, I'm letting you know you're full of shit, right?
Yeah, it's not like the warlord swinging a machete at him in the staircase. He's not like, ooh, talk about a close shave,
Yeah, like the... cheesy and dumb, but this was like perfectly inserted, like added something to the context,
which is why I feel like after Skyfall with the movie Spectre, they try to add those cheesy one-liners to Spectre, and it's like we've already established that Daniel Craig's Bond is more realistic, grounded, dark, and then you try to add too much of that humor, and then like the whole movie just feels off.
Well, I feel like they tried to give him like a personality, which is not what we wanted. We don't want a cheeky James Bond. You know,
quote M in this movie, he is a blunt object.
Exactly. We need you. You're here for a specific purpose. You literally have a license to kill, and you are
don't have a long lifespan.
Like we
don't bring emotions into this.
Yeah. So
there you go.
And he clearly is the guy.
Yeah.
I think, obviously we'll kind of talk about when we're done the future of Bond, but whoever takes that role next has an insane shoes to fill. You almost want to be the guy after the next guy. You know what I'm saying? Because it's just like everything you do will be compared to Daniel Craig era.
Whether fair or not,
True. We've kind of talked about how like I feel like most people, if Daniel Craig isn't your favorite Bond, it's Sean Connery kind of thing. So like, it's one of those. Is like, are you going to be the best there is? I don't know. Especially with this new I guess we'll talk about it now since I keep talking about it with the Amazon purchase. What will this franchise even be going forward? Do they take it back to the Cold War 60s? Do they keep it present day? How much insane CGI will be in these movies? Craig came out and said this movie has the only CG in this movie is to erase stunt wires, and the sinking of the Piazza in Venice at the end of the movie was a model that they digitally placed in Venice, but it's actually still a sinking out exterior shot is a model. So like that is it for all the crazy stunts that happen, especially that parkour scene.
Yep.
Like,
it was pretty sick. That yeah. Jesus
and
Christ.
he did most of all the stunts himself too, just to keep that realism.
Which is why, like, after Skyfall, he was like, I'm not making it. Like, every time he would finish a movie, he's saying, I'm done. I'd rather slit my wrist. And he literally quoted, I would rather slit my wrist than make another one.
Yeah, he said, like, his body couldn't take another one.
Yeah. It's like,
understandable. Well, I mean, you see that shit? Jesus.
Yeah.
And then, obviously, you're not getting any younger.
Yeah.
He made 5 movies in 14 years. Obviously, pandemic had a lot to do with, the movie not being released and pushed back a full year, but also there was like an insane amount of reshoots. I believe he's broken his leg twice in his 5 film series.
The same one?
That I don't know, but I know he's broken. Yeah, bones, cracked collarbones. I'm sure there's some rib damage in there too.
Probably,
but
yeah.
Watching this was the first movie that we've done in this series that I'm like, now I want to watch the other 4. Like, watching the Connery movies, it makes me excited that we're watching more Bond movies. But I think because Craig's movies are all pretty much connected, all 5, there's some retconning that maybe because Quantum of Solace never happened, which we'll get into at the end of this, because that actually plays into the future too, where all his movies are very much connected, and it feels like a more fluid story through all 5 films, whereas, it's kind of a hard reset after every movie for everybody else. But
yeah, I agree. I wanted to watch all of them. Just a little. This was just like a little taste, like a good teaser.
Aperitif.
Yeah. It's just like,
I will say the best way to watch Quantum of Solace is directly after you watch Casino Royale, because you're riding that high right into it.
Yeah, as I finished this one, I was like, I was like, I haven't seen any of the other ones, so I 100% need to.
I think that even his lows are pretty good.
Yeah.
What are his lows?
Quantum of Solace, okay. I think is considered. That one I don't really. That happened during the writer's strike of 2008, where they had to hurry and they started filming with an unfinished script just to try to get in under the wire. So there's like a lot of like loose ends that don't get tied up, and then when they finally get the rights to Spectre back, they completely abandon Quantum altogether. They keep talking about Le Chiffre's organization in Casino Royale, especially towards the end, they're building for it to be this secret organization, which is they didn't have the rights to Spectre. We talked about with Goldfinger. Kevin McCrory owned the rights, and he wasn't ever going to release them. When he finally passed away, his family sold the rights back to Eon Productions. So they created this organization called Quantum, which you find out in Quantum of Solace. It's supposed to be like the big Spectre organization. But then once they get the rights, they completely say, Quantum never happened.
Throwaway film.
Just kidding.
So it's... I feel like that one is at the bottom just because it's the production. They completely just ignore it altogether.
Their heart wasn't in it.
Yeah. And then I think... Personally, I think Spectre is his worst movie just because they are trying to blend super serious with the comedy. They do try to throw it back to like the old genre. Like Batista is like the henchman with like the weird gimmick with like the metal fingertip thumbnails. Mm-hmm. The silent, who he is very good in it. But then like I think, bringing in Christoph Waltz as Blofeld was kind of a misstep. They tried to play it out. Oh no, he's not playing. Everyone's like, we know he's playing Blofeld. Your movie's called Spectre. He's obviously your villain. Like, yeah, and everyone's like, no, he's not. And obviously, he was. And then they also kind of fall into like that Austin Powers thing where you find out that Dr. Evil is actually James Bond's brother. No, sorry, Austin Powers' brother. And then they do the same thing in Spectre, and it's like, oh, so you're actually just in the books. It's not like it. I think Spectre's a mess. And then I think No Time to Die really rights the ship and then gives Daniel Craig like a proper finale. But I think watching all 5 in a row, not that you have to, but I think they're good watches. Yeah. So even the ones that I'm not high on, I'm like, well, I'm still having fun, But let's pop into this, shall we?
Let's do it.
Yeah.
Like I said, 2006. Top 3 films of 2006. Number 3, Ice Age: The Meltdown. Number 2, The Da Vinci Code. And number 1, Pirates of the Caribbean: Dead Man's Chest.
Ice Age and Pirates of the Caribbean.
Yeah. Casino Royale came in at number 4 on the year. Just missing out.
Ice Age is a good movie, though.
But it's the Meltdown.
Yeah.
I don't even know which number that is.
2 or 3?
I thought it was 2. Anyway, either way, good.
A ticket cost in 2006 $6.55, which is equivalent to $10.42 our money. The budget for the film started at $102 million and rose to $150 million, which starts out at $162 million and raises to $238 our money. The box office was $616.6 million. Which is equivalent to $981.1 million our money. And, of course, this film was nominated for 0 Academy Awards.
We'll get them one day,
Well, I mean, now that we have a stunt category at the Oscars, you know they have to give Tom Cruise, like, an honorary Oscar, right? Like, that has to be, like, the first one? Like,
yeah.
Obviously, no spoilers for the end of this when we pick our Tom Cruise movies, but, like... They have to be like, we have to give you one, right?
They have to.
It'd be bananas if they didn't. Like he's just sitting there stewing. My final Mission Impossible movie came out.
Yeah, I hung off of a fucking airplane.
You would be nowhere without me.
Yeah, seriously.
Let's talk about our cold open. Probably the shortest cold open we've watched so far. Obviously, going with an artistic taste here with the black and white.
Oh, so good. So
it's
good.
short,
it's just so
sweet,
gritty.
But it tells you it sets the tempo.
Yeah,
I feel like any other Bond movie would probably have the parkour chase be your cold open. You know what I'm saying? Just the big action set piece that leads into the title sequence. But this one, we kind of, we're easing off the throttle a little bit. We're gonna hit that gas in a minute, but right now we're keeping it in first gear. We see that Bond has confronted a man at his office in Prague, who this man has apparently been selling British intelligence secrets. He makes the comment, M doesn't mind you getting money on the side, but selling British secrets is, we can't stand for that. The man knows who James Bond is, clocks him and says, well, I'm not worried about you because you're not a 00. You have to have 2 kills, and I know for a fact you haven't killed anybody. He sits behind his desk. He opens up his little cabinet. He's like, oh, I got my gun here, so we're all good. You have to have 2 kills, and then we flash cut to Daniel Craig just beating the shit out of a guy in a bathroom.
Yeah.
And it's not, it's still the black and white, but it's like that gnarly, cracked grain film
it's just
kind of look.
Grittiness. Just
throwing guys through stalls, bashing his head in through sinks, and then finally just drowning him. And it's just like, this ain't your daddy's James Bond movie. And he goes, yeah, I got my first one. He goes, yeah, first kill's pretty tough, right? He pulls his gun out, goes to shoot him. Oh, fuck, no clip. Bond pulls his clip out and he goes, I know where you keep your gun, brother. And he goes, well, that first kill's tough, but the second one, and then Bond immediately shoots him in the head and goes, yeah, you're right, it was pretty easy. Mm-hmm. Significantly easier is what he says.
But this next part, oh.
He gets that second kill, and as he's getting up, we flash cut back to that bathroom. The man wasn't drowned in the sink, pops up, goes to shoot him, and shoots him, and that's how we get our classic gun barrel scene. We haven't even really touched on gun barrel scenes at all.
No, this is the best one. This is the greatest. We don't need to talk about the other ones.
It's a perfect way to not only cap off your cold open, but then also lead you into this title sequence that is extraordinary.
Beautiful.
It's a perfect flow into it for sure.
And then honestly, I'm surprised that people are low on this Chris Cornell song, but it is so good.
It is good. It's fitting. Yeah.
It tells you everything you need. You know my name. I don't have to tell you my name. You know what it is. It's fucking James Bond, dude.
Yeah.
Obviously, this title sequence is the first one since Dr. No that doesn't have naked ladies bounding about. But your graphics are still phenomenal. You got obviously the different suits of the cards. Obviously
cards.
This is a poker movie. All the motifs. God, it is. And then obviously, we cap it off with the computer typing that James Bond 00 status, has been confirmed. So good. This is
great.
Another thing that I fault with Quantum of Solace is how they go from this Chris Cornell song to Alicia Keys and Jack White, which on paper sounds phenomenal, and then you hear it and the song is not good.
It's it'd be a little too weird.
There's a documentary called The Sound of Bond where they talk about the music specifically. They go through all of the Bond themes, and they have an interview with Jack White, and he goes, yeah, we really wanted to do something different, and it just did not hit.
I feel the way that obviously Jack White is a very creative person, but I just feel that it goes a little bit too, takes a little too bit of a skirt off to the right,
Yeah.
Or it has a tendency to.
Take a listen to that song when we're done, Michael, and then,
okay,
let me know how you feel. There's times where it sounds like they're both pitchy and off-key.
Yeah.
It is bonkers.
Well, that's what I'm saying, all the shit that he does in, the Rack and Tours and stuff with, different, you start out the song in one tempo, and then the one part is this, and then just his weird, background shit, but, yeah, I don't know. I'll take a gander.
Yeah. Our title sequence ends. Bravo. Now, we're about to meet our villain of the piece, and they're pretty much telling us what the villain's plan is right out the gate. We're in Uganda. We have a warlord who's hanging out with a mysterious older gentleman. We find out later his name is Mr. White. And he's kind of just the looming figure in this movie. He's, a man of very few words, but just kind of looks, like he's seen some shit. Letting him know that their man, Lashif, who's played by Mads Mikkelsen. This is the first movie I'd ever seen Mads Mikkelsen in, by the way.
Same.
Just a great menacing villain. Obviously, we get like he's got his little gimmicky, he got the busted left eye that's got the scar who bleeds blood whenever he gets like worked up or whatever. Lets us know you're gonna give us a shit ton of money, and we are we're shorting stocks essentially. We bet that the market will fail, and when it does, insane cash out. Sounds good. I'm a little nervous about this, but don't worry. Like, Mads Mikkelsen collects the money and then immediately calls his bank and says, short the stocks on whatever that airliner is. Are you sure? The stocks are saying that they're going to go nothing but up. He goes, just do it. Now we're in Madagascar. Bond and another young agent are watching a man, not only a man, but his name is Sebastian Faucan. I don't know how to pronounce. He's a French. He's the creator of free running in parkour.
Yeah, parkour.
He is one of the founders of it.
He is Mr. Parkour.
Yeah. Our fucking core is what I have written here. They're at just a classic, mongoose cobra fight, hanging out. Obviously, this young agent is very green. He keeps touching his ear every time he talks. But Bond is like, stop touching your ear, brother. We see the man gets a text on his phone with the passphrase ellipsis. He goes to leave and sees the young agent with his hand on his ear and goes, oh shit. And takes off running. And that's, like I said, I just wrote par fucking core.
Yeah.
Like, I wasn't going to sit here and take notes. And then they jumped on a crane. I was like, but obviously let's talk about it. Like, fucking insane.
It does a really good job of like, you're like, oh, she's going to get away. Oh, nope, just kidding. Oh, she's going to get away. And then the way it ends, you're like, oh.
And then just like, obviously the duality of everything that Sebastian is doing is like clean and fluid. And then Bond is, for lack of a better phrase, a blunt object who is just like doing the same thing, but just looks bad doing it. But like also he's like taking a beating, but it's also letting us know that he is a one-man wrecking crew, literally bursting through like drywall walls instead of like just doing flip-de-doos through the open windows.
The classic of like the guy does, a super fancy move to get around this. He's just like, boom, Kool-Aid man.
Smarter, not harder. Yeah. Oh, yeah.
I love that, like, when the guy runs through the mongoose cobra fight and, like, shit starts and people are running and they flash back up to James Bond and he's still standing there with his arms crossed like, damn it. And then he just takes off running. Yeah. Like he just like stands there. That second where they took a beat, was great. I love that part.
I like to think that young agent was attacked by that cobra.
Probably.
We never see him again. Or do we? I'd be interested to rewatch him and see if does that guy pop up? Is he the guy who gets killed at the beginning of Skyfall?
Just to track him.
How's he doing? I don't even remember his name. That's how important he is to this story.
Yeah.
Obviously, like the insane construction scene where they're like, I love how when they're up on that crane and Sebastian like pulls the gun on him, the clip is empty, so he just like throws it, and then Bond just like catches it like now what? And then like just throws it right back at him.
Yeah.
Jumping off the crane, like beautiful, like jumping into somersaults where Bond just like takes a suplex and lands on his back and just rolls and then breaks through vents. They have like this one really great shot where they both jump at the same time and it's almost like slowed down just enough where like parkour guy jumps over and he's taking the full jump where Bond is jumping onto that scissor lift, but like it's framed in the same way where they're jumping at the same time. Bond is more like, well, I'm going to save my knees for later, and I'll just jump on the scissor lift and break the hydraulics off so we'll drop faster. The chase leads all the way to the Ugandan embassy, where Bond sneaks through. He's up on top of the truck, jumps over the fence, pays no attention to the cameras, goes right into the embassy office, fucking shoots at the guy, grabs him, beats the shit out of the embassy leader, and then just okay, you're coming with me. Guy obviously sounds the alarm, so now we got a bunch of people fucking firing machine guns inside the embassy at him. They make their way outside, but they're at a dead end. embassy leader comes out and is like, dude, what the fuck?
Yeah, what was that?
This is a pure like statement of like, you want something done right, you gotta do it yourself, I guess.
Yeah.
You know.
By the way, the cardio that Craig had to do in this movie is fucking insane. I read that he trained, like, obviously he gained 20 pounds of muscle for this movie, trained nonstop 5 days in a row, and then would just only do cardio. He would just run for like the 2 days he had off.
That scene where he runs up the crane while he extends it, like,
yeah,
you could just tell like he'd been training for that scene, like just the way he ran, like it was so cool.
Been running up cranes to prep
Uphill
Stairmaster,
runs.
man. You gotta get to the top of the Stairmaster before you just, I never seem to be getting there. He shoves Sebastian back and then immediately pulls his gun out, boom, shoots him in the chest, and then shoots an air tank, which causes an explosion that gives him just enough of a distraction to escape. As he's going through his bags, he sees he sees a pipe bomb, and then he also has his cell phone with the text ellipses on there. We cut over to Lashif on his boat. It's kind of just letting us know that this guy's a poker whiz. Like, it's literally the only reason why this scene exists, where he's got like the guy and gal he's playing poker with. He starts crying blood and is like, ooh, creepy. And he goes, don't freak out, I'm just crying blood. It's a fucked up. What does he say? Like, it's a gland that's all fucked up. In there? Nothing sinister. I was like, yeah, but what about the scar and the grayed out eye, brother?
Tell me about the rest of it.
And then he lets him know, I'm all in, because you have a 0.26% chance of having a better hand than me.
But that's not why I'm crying blood or anything.
Yeah. Back in England, this is... and this is one of those things where it's just like, I don't understand what this tech, but like he uses M's computer to track who texted him and where the text came from. He tracks it to an exact location in the Bahamas at the Ocean Club. And he's obviously in M's office. M shows up and just gives him an absolute tongue lashing.
Yeah.
Nice to see Judi Dench is back, the only holdover from the Brosnan era. Lets us know people want your head for this. Like, you're plastered on all these papers. MI6 agent kills somebody at a Ugandan embassy.
WTF, man? You can't just waltz right in there.
Yeah, and he goes, "Oh, pay attention to the cameras next time." And she's like, "Listen, you gotta fucking drop this ego shit. I gave you the 00 status, and this literally the first thing you do is fucking kill a man at an embassy. Can't have that. They want your head, and honestly, I'm about ready to give it to you." So, and he goes, "You know what? Fine. I'll take a holiday. I'm going to the Bahamas." Which he does. We immediately cut to him flying into the Bahamas, and he goes to the Ocean Club. Did you catch this? I'm assuming this is a bit of an homage, but when he gets to that club, the man who mistakes him as a valet not only is dressed like Goldfinger from Goldfinger, but kind of sounds like him too.
He's physically built the same way too.
Yes. I think this was the first time I kind of caught it, and I think it's because we watched Goldfinger fucking 7 weeks ago.
Yeah.
So it's like it's still relatively fresh in my brain. I was like, oh, I don't think I've ever noticed that before. But he gives him his keys to his Range Rover, and he immediately takes that opportunity to wreck his car. He does clock that there are cameras pointing at the entrance. Pay attention to the cameras.
Yeah.
Do what I said,
He uses that distraction because obviously all these car alarms are going off. He slips past the security, and he's now watching security footage. And he uses the exact text timestamp to match with the security cameras to see a man get out of a cherry 1964 Aston Martin. And luckily he sends that text right as he's getting out of the car, and he goes, all right, cool. That's the guy I'm looking for. I love he goes to, the front desk, and he's like, 'cause he needs to figure out who he is. He's like, hey, I'm staying for the weekend, but also I accidentally dinged this Aston Martin. And she goes, if he hasn't noticed it, maybe just don't say anything, because his name's Mr. Demetrius, and he's a fucking douchebag.
He's gonna get mad.
And he's like, well, what if I felt, inclined and like really up? And she's like, he actually lives up the shore, so feel free to, if your funeral, brother.
Yeah.
I remember this next scene when we were driving home. My dad said, I'm not a gay man, but if I was, and it's the scene of Daniel Craig coming out of the water wearing the tight Speedo.
Hey.
Just absolutely glistening. He's swimming. Obviously he's up the shore. He's looking for Demetrius. That's where he clocks his wife riding on the horseback. Sees the man. He goes, okay, now I know where he lives. Bond then uses M's username and passcode. I love how, like, MI6 is all, like... What are these fucking desk jockeys doing all day? They're like, oh yeah, Bond is using our system right now. Why? I don't know. He is. Cool. What the fuck are you guys doing then? Like,
what's he looking up?
He's using your, and she's like, why do I give a damn? He's like, well, he's using your username and password. And he goes, what the fuck? How does he get these things? So they're watching what he's looking up. Looks up Demetrius. She believes that this was a huge dead end. The man she killed was just a bomb maker. There is no larger thread to be pulled. Turns out there is. Mr. Demetrius' known associates are Le Chiffre, a man who we've been trying to bring in for years, who's working with a secret organization nobody knows about, which is why it is a secret organization. So she's like, oh fuck, the thread is big, and this guy's onto something massive. That night, Bond joins a poker game that Demetrius is in, and down on his luck, Demetrius is like, hey, you know what? We're racing for pink slips. Here's my 1964 Aston Martin. I love how just, like, annoyed the dealer is with all of this.
Well, he was gonna write a check to buy it.
Yeah, she's like, come on, dude, house stakes.
Like, yeah, dude.
And Bond's like, let him try to win his money back. And before we were recording, Brandon, I was talking about how, like, I was, like, quoting this movie. I was, like, quoting this entire scene. It's just like, oh, 3 kings. Oh, nope, just kidding. Trip aces. Bond obviously wins. Takes the keys, goes, oh, yeah, and I need the valet ticket, too. Just, like, one more fuck you to this guy.
But that's the cheeky line that I like, just like, oh.
Because it makes sense in that moment. Like, he's a fucking... I mean, the whole thesis of this movie is that Bond in this movie is an egotistical asshole. And then by the end, he just becomes, like, a hollow shell, angry, pissed off man. But, like, the ego is more in check.
Yeah.
But, like, right now, because he is... Like, it's his first mission. He's just being a fucking cocksmith right now.
Yeah, he's just shit-talking,
Yeah.
Yeah. Bond fucking cucks Demetrius by picking up his wife. Obviously, she mistakes the car and is like, oh, no wonder he was so pissed off. He convinces her, hey, want to have a drink at my place? And she was like, as long as it's close. And he goes, it was pretty close. I love they get in the car and then they just go around the roundabout and then park. And then the valet goes, welcome back, Mr. Bond.
Yeah.
Doesn't ask any questions like, oh, did you forget something? He goes, oh, welcome back. They go to his valet. No, not valet. To his chalet, I should say. They're making out hardcore on the ground, and then she gets a phone call from Demetrius saying that he's going to Miami on business and won't be back till tomorrow. To which Bond is like, cool, let's go get caviar and champagne. I'll be right back. Never comes back.
Hold on, though.
Holding on.
Here's what I was thinking about during this scene. Dimitri says that he's on the last flight to Miami.
Yep.
How did Bond get there?
He left at the same time.
On what flight?
I'm assuming he's calling... Because what we didn't say is that there is a scene where Demetrius goes and meets with Le Chiffre and says... the airliner thing is happening. It's a go. I have a man. He just needs payment.
Right.
I'm assuming he's calling as he's leaving, heading towards the airport. I don't think he's physically on the plane, like leaving when he's calling.
So Bond is on the same flight with this guy
who
just stole, his cherry car and his cherry wife or whatever.
Are you saying that he would recognize him on the same flight?
I'm just wondering, like, what? Like, they're on the same
They're
flight.
passing
There's
each
only
other on
one,
the aisle.
Yeah, there's only
What the
one
hell?
last flight to Miami. So, and Bond is nowhere near the airport. He's occupied right now. So then he travels to the airport, happens to get on the same flight as Dimitri.
I think they do completely skip that entire scene because then it cuts to him following him already in Miami,
And it's
to go to that
nighttime.
whack body thing.
It's nighttime, but they're both there at the same exact time, and I'm like, I don't know if that's how it works.
Well, I also
Time
think we're
travel.
supposed to believe that he is a British secret agent who has means to do things.
True.
You know what I like? Do you really want the movie to be 15 minutes longer? No.
But that's what I was thinking about. I'm like, how
Yeah.
does that work?
I did think I missed a scene because it literally cuts from him being on the phone ordering the champagne.
And then he's like, he leaves.
And he gets weirdly pissed off for a second on the phone. And he's like, "Oh, the beluga caviar, another champagne." What? No, for one. Like,
For one?
it's
How dare you assume?
Yeah.
this weird.
Like someone just
No.
screamed at him.
And then it cuts to him
They're
in a
Miami.
cab following, Miami. Because I was like, "Oh, is he following him to the airport?" No, he's already in Miami.
Yeah.
Yeah, and we know they're in Miami because Will Smith's "Welcome to Miami" is playing. Very topical.
Yep.
Bienvenido un Miami.
I forgot about that song to play, and I was like, okie doke, yeah, cool.
He follows him to this like body exhibit that, by the way, I guess was a real exhibit in Miami, and those are like real skeletons, like real like people that donated their bodies to science. Like it was like this giant exhibit, not morose at all. Just
Interesting.
yeah. I wonder if the families ever showed up. They're like, "There's your dad.
Look.
He's the one playing poker. He's got the losing hand."
Yeah. They did him dirty.
He sees Demetrius slip a keychain chip onto one of the chips and just kind of goes away. But then he's immediately like clocked. All of a sudden, Demetrius is behind him. He's got a knife at his back, and I love like the subtle like we're gonna fight with this knife, but like we're also trying to keep a low profile.
We're not going to cause a scene.
Yeah. And then to the point where like they're almost working together. Like I think that is like when Bond like goes like over there, like shit, we need to chill out. People are coming. So Demetrius like looks like almost like okay, I got you, and then uses that to then stab him. I'm like, that's pretty brilliant. Like they both have this understanding that we can't get caught. So like we're actually working to fuck, he got me. He kind of lays him down. I'm surprised he didn't say something about him being dead tired or something. He sees that the chip is gone and that the bag that Demetrius had checked in is also gone. So he runs outside, takes Demetrius' phone and calls the last number on there, to which we see another man answer the phone. Hello? Oh, okay. That's the man I'm now going to follow. He follows him all the way back to Miami International Airport, where the man uses the bag, changes into airport security. The guy obviously clocks him as well. Bond is like not a very good super agent at this moment. He's been clocked twice by the guys he's following.
He never has been.
Did you notice Richard Branson
Yes,
in the background?
I did. I said, hey, that's Richard Branson.
Perfect.
The Virgin CEO himself is just kind of hanging out at the
Stuck
Miami
in
International Airport.
stuck in security.
Yeah, he's getting like wanded or something, right? Yeah,
Good.
Yeah,
Don't
how did-
let him through.
How did that get set up? They call him, hey, you want to be in a movie? Oh, sure. You're kind of just going to be an extra, though. Be in the background.
Like almost immediately the next scene we see a plane with like a Virgin Atlantic like tail. So like clearly, I mean, yeah,
Maybe
product placement has always been a big thing in James Bond movies. They did tone it way the fuck down. We didn't talk about this last time, but Die Another Day had like an insane amount of product placement that people were calling it Buy Another Day. Because it was just like the shit was there, especially like the Jaguars and the specific like alcohol they were all like. We cut back to MI6 because Bond has called and been like, "Hey, I need to get through. there is this airliner that is about to get. It's like a brand new airliner. That's like I guess like the new largest commercial airliner. I believe that there's going to be a bombing at the Miami Air, and I immediately say you can't say bomb in an airport. You can't just be saying that.
Bomb, 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 bomb.
Yeah, I was like, what is that from?
I don't remember.
T.J. Miller's Real Life.
No.
I don't know.
I'm gonna find out.
We get a really great chase scene as he follows him onto the tarmac. What's up?
Meet the parents.
Meet the parents.
Anyways,
I've
carry
only
on.
seen that movie once.
Me too.
Now, carry on. We're on the tarmac. I like how the guy, like when he's going through security, like they're trying to check his keychain because that's what's setting off the metal alarm. He's like, it's just a keychain, bro. That keychain's a bomb.
Yeah.
He attaches that to like a gas tanker. And, he gets in, tries to drive away, and that's when we get like the scene where like Bond running up the stair ladder to jump on the tanker. And we honestly, like, it's very akin to like Raiders of the Lost Ark, this scene. I don't know, when we covered that movie, I don't know how recently you've seen it, but like Indiana Jones fighting to get into the truck that has the Ark in the back.
Yeah.
Like, it was reminded me very much of that.
Yeah, the truck fight scene.
Yeah, where there's times where he's hanging off and they're trying to ram him into other vehicles, but he gets in the back and then like he swings and kicks out the windshield to wrestle with the guy. I like how nobody seems to care that there's like a tanker, a gas tanker that's driving like a jackass on the tarmac.
There's no police, no nothing chasing.
And the
after
police only show up because MI6 calls in that there's a bomb threat.
Yeah.
And it's not because like some drunk assholes driving a gas tanker everywhere.
People watching are just like, this neighborhood's really gone to shit.
Apparently they filmed this at 3 different airports.
Oh, good.
And it took like 3 weeks to film like this entire segment. There's like the Miami and then Nassau airport, and then there was one other one I can't remember. Honestly, probably in England. I like how they tussle, like Bond gets like thrown out of the car for a second. The police are like shooting at the tires to try to get him to stop, but in the process like shoot holes in the tanker so there's gas just pissing out of this thing. He clocks the bomb keychain. The man who's driving goes to jump out of the tanker, but Bond tackles him, pulls him back in. Finally, he gets away. Bond has to hurry and stop the tanker because it's on a collision course for the airliner. Finally gets it to stop right as it's at that last moment. He gets yanked out of the car. The police have him on the ground. They throw him up on the hood. They start arresting him, and that's when Bond and the man like have that eye contact with each other as the man smiles and like activates the bomb. Beep, beep. And he goes, what the fuck? Turns, it's clipped to his back.
Oh.
You done goofed.
Gotcha.
And we just get that moment where we see Bond's eyes and we hear like a big explosion and like he cracks that shit grinning smile like
Yeah.
We cut to Lashif, who has just found out that they have lost $101,206,000 because obviously the airliner didn't blow up, therefore the stocks didn't crash. So now they're out that money, which sucks because that is a Ugandan warlord's money that I just lost.
Ooh.
Not good.
Yeah. He says to somebody talked. The only person who knew about it was Demetrius. So we cut back to the Bahamas and we see that Demetrius' wife is dead. M is there letting Bond know. She was tortured first because you killed her husband. She was the only one who maybe knew. So they tortured her for a long time before finally killing her. While this is all happening, they're placing a tracker in his arm, just being like, that way we can keep an eye on you. Kind of thing. Oh, by the way, they also subtly hint that this secret organization like caused 9/11. Like talking about how like the plan is that what they do is they bet against the stocks. We found this out when we looked into it. When terrible things happen, stocks plummet. These guys make a shit ton of money. On September 12th, this organization cashed out a large sum of money, obviously. And so by thwarting this, they're now out. So we know it's Lashif, who is a poker mathematic wizard who, to recoup his losses, has organized a tournament, a 10-person tournament, $10 million buy-in, and then another $5 million after elimination, for a possible total of $150 million that'll take place at the Casino Royale in Montenegro. Oh yeah, sorry.
Pinky.
$150 million. And I heard that you are the best poker player we have, so I'm entering you into the tournament. But keep your wits.
Yeah.
Because I don't like your fucking attitude, brother. And to that point, we're going to have a babysitter with you. An accountant is going to be babysitting you the whole time. Which we meet Vesper Lynd on the trend to Montenegro. Vesper Lynd, ladies and gentlemen, played by the incomparable Eva Green. My number one with the bullet, Bond girl.
She was great.
I feel like her and Tracy are like obviously the only two women that he's ever loved. And then obviously you just have a powerhouse of Eva Green in there too. Mm-hmm. Who's great in almost everything she's in. I haven't seen Dumbo, but I can't imagine that's a great movie.
I'm telling you, the acting though was just it was so good. All across the board, everybody was great.
We get that first scene too, where they're just literally sizing each other up. Both literally and figuratively, I guess.
Yeah.
We find out she's literally sizing him up.
Yeah, for his suit.
Yeah. They're playing the I can read you. In poker, it's all about reading people. Everybody has a tell, so it's all about figuring out what that tell is. But if I can, get a read on you, I can, tell you everything I know about you. You're obviously an orphan. She does the same thing where she pretty much tells him that she thinks he's a poser with a chip on his shoulder because, he was an orphan who didn't come from money. So now he's trying to prove everybody wrong for the rest of his life. And honestly, that's kind of what, the attitude we're getting so far is
accurate.
That she's...
Pretty close to
we
home.
get that... Yeah, she gets up and leaves, and we kind of get that moment where he's like, what the fuck just... she even says, how was your lamb? And he goes, skewered.
Yeah.
One sympathizes. Because she literally just
skewered
spit roasted him. Yeah. She gets up and leaves, and he has that... Damn. Okay. All right.
Damn, that just happened, but she's also hot.
That girl hot. I love how they're in the car and they're heading, she's telling him, this is our cover. My name is Stephanie Broadchest.
No, it's not.
Your last name is Beach. Obviously, and he immediately gets to the hotel and he goes, yes, reservation for Bond, but it'll be under Beach. And she's like, what the fuck are you doing?
Pulls him aside. Come on, man, get together.
To which he says, listen, Lashif is well connected. He already knows, he already knows who I am. So the silly fake name isn't going to mean anything to him. Pretty much, he knows who I am already and still is having the tournament continue, which either means he's desperate or he thinks he can beat me. And joke's on him because I know I'm the greatest. And I'm going to prove it to y'all. He finds out that somebody at the hotel gives him an envelope. We find out that he has a car waiting for him, and it is a brand new cherry Aston Martin DB9, baby. Oh, it is sleek as shit. His glove compartment has a bunch of tools that he doesn't quite know what they are just yet, but trust me, they'll come into play a little later.
He's gonna need
it. They meet French informant Mathis, who is their man on the inside. And honestly, I feel like Mathis does a lot of... For the people who don't know how poker is played, he's the guy who's letting the audience know. You know what I'm saying? He's the audience surrogate, just being like, Bond has to now go all in to call the blow.
Yeah.
He'll need a bet.
He's our poker commentator.
Yeah. Yes, commentator. Giving you details so you feel more engaged.
Yeah. But saying it to Eva Green, who doesn't...
Michael.
Yeah. So, we have a few weird... they're essentially just being Mathis is our guy, and to prove it, he's letting us know, hey, Lashif has connections with the Montenegro police chief, but don't worry, I'm framing him for bribery. We get two scenes like that.
Currently framing him
Yes, as the police show up and arrest him
at the table, like behind them.
Yeah. I love the scene. Like, we're getting ready for the tournament, so Bond comes in and gives Vesper Lynd a dress and says, "I need you to wear this, and I need you to come in to a point where everyone is distracted by your neckline rather than their cards. It'll throw people off." We've seen this exact thing happen twice in the movie. With Demetrius's wife distracting him, and then also Le Chiffre's lady friend distracts the two people, and it's like, oh, okay. I need you to do this. Also, why the fuck is there a $6,000 Brioni suit in here? And she's like, oh, yeah, I got that for it. And he goes, it's tailored. And she's like, yeah, I literally sized you up the moment I saw you. Fits like a glove. So good. We get like that, just that little, like the James Bond sting when he's like looking, he's like, fuck, I look good.
Sharp dressed man.
Yeah. ZZ Top is playing in the background. There's like the guitars are spinning. He enters the poker tournament, and we have a cavalcade of interesting characters that are playing poker. It's like somebody created their own characters, and like, we got like a Japanese Yakuza guy in there. We got like an overweight black guy in like a velvet suit. We got an Einstein-looking guy in the corner that we never really see. Like, he's clearly eliminated quickly. But then also
the big bouncer-looking guy.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. The big black dude in the velvet suit. Obviously, Le Chiffre is there. We got a card dealer that looks like 1980s Charlie Sheen. And, of course, we have Jeffrey Wright.
Of course.
Yeah. Who's just kind of, like, really quiet in the background. We clock him like, oh, that's Jeffrey Wright. We also, like, we kind of enter the game just... Everybody has their own password for everything. We're starting out... And I felt like I remembered there being, like, a lot of poker montages. It's not so much montages, whereas we're, like, just entering random scenes. So, like, the beginning of the game, it's just a lot of Bond trying to figure out if Le Chiffre has a tell. He kind of clocks it as when he puts his two fingers on his brow, that's when he's bluffing, kind of thing. And that's, Mathis is telling Eva Green, i.e. the audience, he's looking for his tell. Oh, he's doing this, so he must be bluffing, kind of thing. Bond orders a martini. He orders it exactly as it was lifted from the books, which is 3 parts gin, Gordon's, 1 part vodka, which is, and then half part Quina Lillet, served over ice until cold, shaken, not stirred, with a slice of lemon as a garnish. Yeah. And I love how everyone's like, oh, damn, that sounds pretty... Yeah.
I'll take one of those too.
Jeffrey Wright, my man, can I please...
Save the fruit.
Yeah, save the fruit. I love how she's like, anybody else? Are we gonna play poker? Or, bro, hey man, we're thirsty. Fucking back off.
We're gonna
always get those. You always get that one asshole at the table too.
Get me a glass of warm milk.
Get your glass of shut the fuck up.
That would have been better.
Yeah.
I love the barman brings him and he takes a sip of it and he goes, "Ooh, I should come up with a name for that." Obviously, the Bond martini is called the Vesper Martini. He does name it by the end of the movie, but it's just like, ha ha ha. Yeah, he does. You ever had a Vesper, by the way?
Yes.
You have?
Yes.
I would argue it's not very good.
I would say the same.
I'm not a martini guy.
I've tried multiple times and I can't.
You just want it to be classy,
for me.
You just like, I can't.
Well, yeah, you got to try it. Like,
yeah, honestly, the first time I had it was at a yard house too. So I mean, like,
that's yeah. My buddy on his 21st birthday, that was like the first drink he ordered, and he like spit out like the first drink of it. He was like, oh my god, that's horrible.
I was with David and Brandon's arch enemy Zach, and we were like, I was like, I'm getting a Vesper. I gotta do it. And so like they filmed me drinking it, and I was like trying real hard not to be like, this is fucking disgusting. I was like, yeah, pretty good. It's pretty good. It was not.
It's a sophisticated drink.
I don't like gin. Gin is too
I love
piney.
gin.
I don't want to feel like a pine tree just fell on top of me.
I think I like gin because like, the whole piney thing is like kind of refreshing in a weird way. But I've never had this Quina Lillet stuff. Like, is it? It looks like it's fruity,
ish. Yeah.
Or add some sort of fruit essence.
If I remember correctly, Yard House didn't have like that specific Quina Lillet, so it was just. So I don't even know if I even had a proper one. But what's the hoity-toity place that's right across the street from Yard House, Brandon?
Twigs, but it's not
Twig.
there anymore. But
Whoa.
that was a martini bar. So
yes, yeah. And I had a Vesper there, and it was better, but it was still not my cup of tea.
They had a great steak with a blue cheese fondue over top.
Yeah, you told me about that, and we went,
good.
and they didn't have the blue cheese fondue. I said, "What the fuck?"
Yeah, it's messed up, dude. That was
Somebody say steak. No, mistake.
Yeah. So I had like some sort of like melted brie with it, but it didn't hit like that, like the promised blue cheese peppercorn fondue.
so good.
Anyway, back to I guess this movie. They've been playing for 4 hours, and so they decide to break for a 1 hour break. Bond and Mathis sneak a tracker into Le Chiffre's inhaler. That way they can follow him to see where he goes. Le Chiffre heads back to his room, where the Ugandan warlord is waiting for him. Starts strangling him, just being like, "Where's my money?" And he goes, "Listen, you'll get it. I'm down bad. But don't worry. I'm kind of good at this poker thing. Like, there's like this weird intimidation thing where he's going to like cut his girlfriend's arm off and like he doesn't even flinch.
Yeah, he doesn't care.
He's like, damn, stone cold. He's like, but you can win this poker game? And he goes, yeah, I got it. Uganda warlord's like, this is literally your last shot. If you don't got it, I'm going to kill you. As they're leaving, they do what everybody else in this movie does. They clock that Bond has been following them, to which breaks out into like a pretty fun fight like that takes place in that stairwell.
In the stairwell,
like,
yeah.
Yeah, where they're just like swinging machetes everywhere.
And there's like a couple scenes where like they each one like leaps over like a flight of stairs, like, you know, because it's in what looks like a parking garage.
Yeah,
stairwell.
Yeah, like that square stairwell instead of just down. Yeah.
There's a couple cool scenes in that. Yeah.
That finally ends with Bond having to strangle a man right in front of Vesper. Like, it was alright. We killed the one guy because we just dropped him from the top of the stairwell. Like, he's dead. But, like, you're not... She's literally watching a man just remove the life from somebody. Leg kicking. She's trying to get the gun out of the guy's hand. Bond kills the Ugandan warlord. Tells Vesper, have Mathis hide these bodies. Let them know they're down here. Because I have to go back and play poker. We get the scene of him like cleaning himself up. He shows back up to the game, and you know, Le Chiffre makes the comment how he changed his shirt. He's like, I didn't realize, is this game making you sweat that much, kind of thing. We don't see the rest of the night of the poker game. Yeah. We then cut back to Bond coming back to his hotel room and sees Vesper kind of cowering in the shower. Bond, pops a little squiznot next to her. She says, I can't get the blood off. I keep trying to get the blood off. Obviously her hands are clean, but she's talking more, proverbially. He then, obviously, the first thing anybody would do, takes her hands and puts them in his mouth, just to lick the, blood from her fingers, and says, all done. I fixed it. And then, in a very, it's obviously a bit more touching and comforting than what I just said it was, but it is just odd. The first time I see it, I was like, you're just going to put them right in your mouth, huh? Okay.
Yeah, that part was weird for sure, but the whole scene of them, under the running water, I thought was very human, put that human aspect back on Bond, where he does have emotions. He's not a soulless human being.
Yeah. And, I guess in the original script, she was like supposed to be like just in her underwear, and Craig was like, she would not have, like, why would she take the time to get undressed and then go take a shower?
I thought it was even better with the dress that he gave her,
because obviously it hits harder when you're like, there's somebody sitting in a shower, fully clothed. Like, they're obviously going through something right now. And he follows suit, fully clothed himself, and just kind of like, warmly comforts her, like you said, like letting her know that, like, hey, like, we're gonna be all right. It's okay. That next morning, Bond sees Mathis and sees that he has hidden the dead bodies in the trunk of one of Le Chiffre's men. I love that scene where, like, the police are talking to this guy, and then, like, he calls the phone, and the phone in the trunk rings, and they open it up, and there's, like, just two dead bodies.
Two bodies. No big deal.
While Le Chiffre is watching from his room, and we get the little blood running down his face. If anything, I'd be more comfortable. It's like, oh, the Ugandan guy's dead. You know
that
who I
problem
don't
solved,
owe? Yeah. You know who I don't owe $101 million to anymore? Day 2, we have a pretty intense showdown. As Le Chiffre is doing his tell, Mathis says he's doing his tell. That means he's bluffing. Only for Bond to go all in. Bond has a full house, but Le Chiffre wins with 4 jacks. Does, like, that little... the reveal of, like, the smarminess of, like, him putting the 1 jack down and then going, like... Oh, wait, what's this? And he moves the card and there's another one under it and he goes, oh, oops-a-daisy. Kind of like, obviously he doesn't say oops-a-daisy, but, like, his face is, like, saying...
His face says oopsie-daisy.
Go fuck yourself.
That's what he wanted to say.
Yeah. The dealer, 4 jacks, Mr. Le Chiffre wins. Bond has now been eliminated from the game. And obviously Bond assumes that Vesper is going to allow him, another $5 million to buy back in. She refuses, believing that his ego is getting the better of him, even though he assures her, I can beat this guy. Like, he caught me, I fucked up, now I know I need to actually fucking play poker and not just, like, be a big dick, swinging around. She says, tough titties, I'm not doing it. I believe that's exactly what she says.
Caught me off guard.
Bond's pissed off. I love how he goes to the barman, says, I have vodka martini, and he goes, shaken or stirred? And he goes, do I look like I give a damn?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Barman's like, all right, fuck
all
me.
right, man, Jesus.
Yeah. He sees Le Chiffre at the other end of the bar. He gets the idea he's going to take a knife, and he's just going to go, I'll just fix this myself, and I'll go fucking stab the guy in the neck. Jeffrey Wright catches him on the stairs and says, I never got to introduce myself, seeing as how we're related. The name's Leiter, Felix Leiter. Brother from Langley. Obviously, Felix Leiter, famous. James. Last time we saw Felix Leiter, a shark was eating his legs in the Timothy Dalton movie. So it's the first appearance of Felix Leiter back in a Bond movie since License to Kill. I to this day still get the 2 Dalton movies confused. The titles, I should say, but.
And it's funny because Jeffrey Wright is like the same character in this as the character in Westworld. Like,
yeah,
exact same. Like the way he talks, like, yeah.
I'm bleeding chips. I'm not lasting much longer. I just love the
way how we're from the same family.
Yeah, brother from Langley. Just like, oh damn, I got goosebumps just saying it. Lets him know, I will stake you the $5 million, but here's the deal. We get to take him in. Sounds good. Yeah, give me your $5 million. He goes, and then Bond's like, what about if I win? What happens with the winnings? And he goes, does it look like we need the money? And I was like, oh, okay, well.
Can I get that? Can I get that in writing, please? Because
yes, please. Yeah. So he says, you got it, dude. I'll rejoin the game. I like how he comes back in, and he's got like the $5 million, bricks. Mm-hmm. And then it like immediately cuts to him with a shit ton of chips in front of him. So like again we cut, and now there's like 5 people at the table. So obviously they've played however long. Like he kind of sits down at the chair, puts his 5 million chips down, and goes, "Shall we up the blinds?" Just kind of like a
like, bro, you just lost.
Yeah, Le Chiffre is like, yeah, I'm cool with that. During that game, we see Le Chiffre's gal is poisoning Bond's martini, and it hits pretty quickly. He takes a swig. Le Chiffre like cracks a smile, and like almost he's like, "Oh fuck, something is not agreeing with me." It was probably those tornadoes I had from 7-Eleven.
Gets me every time.
Over at the Montenegro 7-Eleven.
It's so good going in, terrible coming out.
He immediately is like, okay, I've been poisoned. He goes to leave, and then like the dealer's like, you're the big blind. So he just kind of like throws chips on the table. Deal me out. Takes some salt and some water, tries to throw up in the bathroom. Throws up, it's not working. He goes to his car, and that's when we get like the desk jockeys at MI6 being like, oh, something's going on. He's about to go into cardiac arrest. They let M know he's been poisoned. He's about to die. They're now just on the phone with him in the car. They're like, you see that weird square thing in there? That's a defibrillator. You need to shock your system, because your heart is about to explode. Only for one guy to be like, wait, no, don't do it yet. As he's like attaching the leaflets to him, he's like, you need to like inject this serum into your neck. That way it'll keep your heart from like, like you're going to fucking die if you don't do this. Finally charges the defibrillator, goes to shock himself back to life, but it's not working. He realizes one of the wires isn't plugged in, and then he just kind of collapses as his heart, flatlines, only for Vesper to like show up, reattach the wire, shock him back to, oh, fuck.
Hey, guys.
Yeah, he goes, whoa. My bad. All right, anyway, I gotta go play poker. She's like, you're not going back in there, are you? And he goes, I wouldn't dream of it. Cut to him going, pops back down in the seat, and I love that he goes, sorry about that. That last hand nearly killed me. I was like, that's that. I like that. It's very winky at Lashif too, just being like,
I know what you did. Yeah, I know what you
summer.
did.
They're like, after all of that, you decided to make that joke? Okie doke. That's funny.
Lashif is like, honestly, kind of like shocked. Like, oh my god,
shit, he's back.
We're now down to the final four. Everybody's going all in. Like, we got to wrap this game up, I guess. Lashif, obviously believes that he has won. He has a full house. A full house, guys. And Bond says, cut it out. Because he has a straight flush. I guess is like one of the most luckiest hands in all of poker. Lashif, clearly pissed off, storms off. He's a dead man. Bond and Vesper have dinner together to celebrate, and that's when he decides he's going to name the drink Vesper, because once you've had it, that's all you want. Celebrations are short-lived, however, because Vesper leaves saying, oh, Mathis needs me, and that's when he clocks, wait, Mathis? He's the one who told Lashif about the tell. So obviously, I think Mathis is the double agent. He goes outside, perfectly timed to see Vesper get kidnapped, thrown in the back of a car. He gets in his Aston Martin and takes off after them, going through like the windy roads of Montenegro, only for like them to have time to tie Vesper up and lay her in the middle of the road.
Oh, this scene though. Whew.
To avoid hitting her, he cuts the wheel and they flip the Aston Martin 7 times, which is a Guinness World Record at the time.
Shit.
I believe it has since been broken.
Yes.
But I can't... do you happen to know what movie broke it?
Not off the top of my head. But...
We covered a movie recently where, while they were rehearsing a car flip scene, if the cameras were rolling, it would have been a world record. But because they weren't rolling, they didn't have, like...
A record of
evidence.
it?
Yeah.
The Fall Guy.
That makes sense. The fucking Stuntman movie.
Yeah, 8.5.
Oh, yeah.
But yes, the previous record was Casino Royale.
Yeah.
Which
Royale.
like this scene still stands out to me because I saw this movie in the theater, and that scene was like
it just keeps going.
I was like, holy shit.
Yeah.
Is it a car flipping like that many times with like people in it? Is the
I believe like for a specific stunt.
Yeah,
like,
for on camera.
And what if someone dies in there? Does it not count? Or
no? Then you have to. I think
you got to start over.
This is then you've got to get a new stuntman, Michael.
Yeah. Sorry. Check the polls. No,
I think like
no, doesn't count.
This is gonna sound like super depressing, but I believe the stuntman code is that if somebody is like injured or dies during it, it is like you honor them by having that be the scene in the movie.
Oh,
so yeah.
It's like a weird morbid homage to Yeah.
essentially.
Fair.
I believe a stuntman was killed in the opening car chase of Quantum Solace, by the way.
Oh.
Which, by the way, that is a phenomenal car chase.
That is a badass car scene chase.
That is the cold open, I believe, is because it picks up right where this movie leaves off. Bond is pulled from the wreckage and has his chip removed. Lashif makes the comment, "Your friend Mathis is actually my friend Mathis," and he takes him to a warehouse for a nice massage. Ooh. And by that I mean they just beat the fuck out of his balls.
Great scene. Just the maniacal laughing from Daniel Craig towards the end of that was just. Oh.
I remember being in the theater. Obviously, watching it, I can feel it in my own balls,
my loins.
Yes,
Your
but
loins,
I also remember being like having this go through my brain of like, oh, is this how they're saying that he can bet all these women and doesn't get any of them pregnant because he just
he's sterile
because they just bludgeon his nutsack to death.
They literally beat it out of him.
They're strictly for decoration. Obviously, Lashif is trying to get the passcode from him.
Also, I don't know about you guys, but that's the first torture style that I've never seen. I've never seen
directly pulled from the book. Like this happens in the book,
and I was like just flabbergasted at how bad that would freaking hurt.
Just repeatedly, oh fuck,
with a big
just
giant
like with that rope with the knotted rope at the end while he's like on that wicker chair. They cut the bottom out and he's sitting there naked.
I mean, even if it wasn't a direct hit, that would still just brutal. He's saying, we're torturing Vesper right now. She has the account number. You have the passcode. We can keep doing this all day. And Bond's like, I have an itch down there. Do you mind? And he goes, okay. No, the other one. Just like, oh. And then so he obliges, hits him again, and then Bond starts laughing, like you said, like that panic laugher. And he goes, now the whole world's going to know that you died scratching my balls. He goes, I died? And he goes, yeah, because I have the passcode, and if you kill me, you don't have the money. So you literally you're a dead man if you kill me. And I ain't talking, so you might as well just fucking get it over with. Lashif pleads one more time as we hear Vesper scream in another room. If you give me the passcode, I will let her live. And he kind of just blows it off again and goes, you know what, fine. If you're not going to tell me, I'm just going to feed you the things that you hate the most. So he kicks him over. Broccoli.
And is now going to cut his... he's going to neuter him. As he's about to, we hear a woman scream and we hear a gunshot. And we look up, the door opens, and Mr. White comes in with a gun. And Lashif immediately goes, I'm going to get I'll get the money. And the chief is like, money's not important right now, guy. Our organization needs people we can actually trust. Shoots him in the head, kills him. I remember being in the theater being like, that felt very anticlimactic to me. But like now, like after seeing it mold, I was like, because my brain is always like the villain has to die in like an insane, exaggerated way.
Right.
Like the last movie, the villain got sucked out of an airplane into a jet turbine. You know, like...
yeah.
So like just a bullet hole to the head felt kind of like, oh, okay.
He was, and then I look to the wrong people.
I look at my DVD player and I see the time and I go, still 40 minutes of this movie left.
What do we do with the rest of it?
we kind of get into Return of the King territory where this movie has like 3 endings. I think that's like a big critique of this movie is that it feels like this movie ends 4 times. Bond wakes up in a hospital, and we kind of get that shadowy, like him trying to come to. He sees Vesper, he cracks a smile, and then he sees Mathis behind her, and he goes, no, not that man, no. He comes to, by the way, beautiful hospital. Just like, Looks like they're at Lake Como, Italy.
Yeah.
Honestly, they actually might be.
They could be, yeah.
Yeah. George Clooney walks by, waves. Hey. Hey, James. Would you like a Nespresso?
Nespresso.
Bond is in a wheelchair. Mathis is talking. He's grilling him, wanting to know what he knows. If he knew anything, did he see the killer? Obviously, Bond did see it was Mr. White, but says he never saw the killer because he believes that Mathis is the double agent. We find out later that's not the case. He goes, I'm not telling you jack shit, as two men come up behind Mathis and tase him and take him away. Vesper, greets him. They kind of have that moment where he's pretty much just being like, hey, I don't know if you know this, but I fucking love you, dude. Like, I know at the beginning I said you're not my type because you're single. I only like married women, but you truly do have my heart. She says the same thing back to him as the banker shows up and says, I need your passcode. I came all the way from Switzerland. And he goes, oh, did you bring me chocolates? And he goes, ha, 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 no.
and he looks like he ran there the entire time. Like,
Yeah.
he runs up that hill carrying that big-ass briefcase.
Mr. Bond.
I
We
need to
proceed
hurry.
alphabetically. And I came all the way from Switzerland. And he says, well, Miss Lynd can actually enter the code. And she goes, I don't know it. And he goes, sure you do. It's VESPER. He goes, oh, thank you for your time. Very much. Yeah, the funds will be in your account very quickly. And then he scoots off. She has that moment where she's like, damn, it was my name this whole time.
Yeah.
They decide, she makes that comment, if all I had was your brain and your little finger, you'd still be more of any other man that I know. And then he goes, that's because you know what I can do with my little finger. Makes a fingering joke. And that's when he promises all of him to her. He decides he's going to resign. This is like the 5th Bond movie we've watched where Bond resigns or threatens to resign.
Just gets sucked back in.
Yeah. I think Daniel Craig's Bond does it 3 times in his 5 movies, to be honest. Bond and Vesper decide they're going to start a month-long vacation since he's resigning, and they're going to sail to Venice. While in Venice, Vesper clocks... I wrote down, Vesper clocks a clear Bond villain. A man dressed like Belloc from Raiders of the Lost Ark again, but he's got the glasses, but one of them's blacked out. Yeah. Very eye-patchy. That next morning, they're rolling around in the hotel. Vesper says, here's what we're going to do. You go get supplies. I'm going to go get the money. We're going to pull it out of the account. Obviously, because the British government is saying, where is our money? So I will go take care of that. I'll be back in 30 minutes. Leaves her phone on the counter and takes off. To which, I'm assuming around 30 minutes later, Bond gets a call from M, just being like, hey, the treasurer is here and he's wondering if they're ever going to get their... I'm assuming, do they want the whole 120 million or do they just want the 10 million he used to buy in? That's my real question. It's are we taking the whole thing for Queen and Country, or are we just taking the stipend we gave you? He says, question. What do you mean? She's sitting right now, and he goes, well, no, we don't have the money. He calls up the Swiss man again and says, what's going on with my account? And he goes, oh, we did the account that Miss Lynd gave us, and I sees right here that it's being withdrawn as I speak. To which, he hangs up and runs over to the bank. He just missed Vesper as he sees her in the streets, follows her to this old abandoned piazza out in Venice that's literally being held up by floats.
Balloons.
Yeah. Where she sees, her hand over the money to Eye Patch Man. And wouldn't you know it, Bond gets spotted. And they open fire. And we get a relatively good, fight scene where I'm just going to start shooting at these air balloons so the place starts sinking. It's throwing everybody off. So we're literally fighting in a building that is
collapsing into the Grand Canal.
Yeah. While Vesper has been locked inside an elevator. Well, she technically hasn't been locked in yet. It is alluded that I guess she puts herself in that elevator. Everybody starts blasting. Bond is like slowly dispatching guys as the building is sinking, but as it's sinking, the elevator that Vesper's in is starting to, get a little bit more unwieldy, sliding down the track a bit more, obviously heading towards the water. He finally kills the last guy, the eye patch guy, by shooting him in his bum eye with a nail gun.
Perfect.
A lot of eye stuff in this movie. We got, obviously, Lashif.
Yeah.
Lashif's girlfriend always has her hair over her eye. I'm sure, this man just gets shot in the eye with a nail gun, and then we see him turn. We see the nail sticking out of his eye. He goes to get Vesper out of the elevator, is trying to open it, and he sees that she has the key and is locking herself in it. As the elevator now snaps from its cage and flies into the water and starts sinking, he goes down to try to break her free. She grabs his hands, gently kisses it, and then goes to the back corner and says, "I'm going to drown myself." To which she drowns. He finally breaks through the cage, pulls her out, tries giving her CPR, but to no avail. As we see, in the back, Mr. White is, creepily looking on. M tells Bond that Vesper was actually blackmailed because her boyfriend was kidnapped by this secret organization and was using her, her love for him to get the information for the money, all that stuff. She was actually blackmailed. And then M is like, oh, so that clears up Mathis. And Bond is like, I don't know if it does. We find out in Quantum that he was in fact innocent. And I like how he has this $1 billion villa in Lake Como as reparations for I'm assuming they tortured the shit out of him.
Yeah.
To try to get him to talk. So he comes back in Quantum of Solace and he's retired and he goes, oh yeah, I'm still living off the British government, for
mistakes happen.
Yeah. I guess. Bond is still hardened by all of it. He was like, it doesn't matter. He uses the phrase, the bitch is dead. So I'm over it. Everybody, M says she believes the trail has gone cold because obviously he hasn't told anybody that he knows that he saw the killer. So she's under the impression we'll never figure out who the secret organization is. But Bond knows that it's Mr. White, to which he gets a text and just says, we don't know who's texting him, but it says Mr. White. Cut to Mr. White's villa. He's pulling up in his car, gets out, looks out over Lake Como. He literally gets out and just does one of those good to be home. Gets a phone call, hello, and he goes, hey, Mr. White, we need to talk. And he goes, who is this? Only for him to be shot in the leg. And he's trying to crawl away, as the James Bond theme starts picking up, getting louder and louder. Who is this? Bond walks up, holding the gun in the air, and he goes, the name's Bond. James Bond. End credits. Boom. Fucking beautiful.
Nice little bow on it.
What a good way to end, too.
Yeah.
Not even just the movie, just the exclamation point on this entire series in general. Obviously, we have, 19 other movies that if we ever feel like we want to dip back, maybe when they finally announce or the new movies coming out, we can, pop back in. But this was fun. I enjoyed it. I liked that, we talked at the very beginning. We got a little taste of everything, with doing all 6 actors. I feel like, and I'll throw to you guys after this, but I feel like my definitive, actor list is probably Lazenby at the bottom at 6, Brosnan at 5 by default because I think he just has more offerings. The only one that bums me out is that I have Timothy Dalton at 4, just because more Craig and Connery are just that iconic, and maybe if Dalton would have had, more showings, he could have run up the list, but for me, 3 is Roger Moore, 2 Connery, and number 1 Craig.
Agreed.
With the whole list?
Yep. Yeah, I could flip-flop Brosnan and Lazenby, but
You did mention that last week when you were
Yeah.
like, I watched all 4 and I have this to
And
say.
I was just like severely disappointed. But
Oh.
yeah, I totally agree. I think Daniel Craig is the GOAT.
Numero uno.
This November, the Alamo Drafthouse is doing the 30-year anniversary of GoldenEye. So I'm going to try to
You should.
Shit.
see it in theaters. But what about you, Michael? What would you say your list is? Like, is it similar? Is it completely different?
Yeah, so I have obviously Daniel Craig's number 1. Pierce Brosnan number. I'm just kidding. Now I was.
It's your list, man. You do you.
No, I know. It was just so wild. I kept thinking about it after we watched whatever we watched last week.
Die Another Day.
Yeah, thank you. And I was just like, God damn, that really was like not as good as I remember. But yeah, Craig number 1. I like the Sean Connery ones. Timothy Dalton, Roger Moore, and then Lazenby.
Yeah.
So
Nice.
yeah.
I mean, it's like I said when we first started, this is probably my favorite franchise. You got 60 years worth of material to watch.
A lot of behind the scenes stuff too to watch.
Oh yeah, very much for good and for bad. You know, so many awesome documentaries to watch. I own a few on Amazon. Obviously, Amazon now owns everything in perpetuity. Everything James Bond now, not just distribution, but everything going forward. It is, a franchise that has been in the Broccoli family for 63 years and is now gone. I think a lot of people are worried. I think a lot of people think that means that we're going to get like a shit ton of spin-offs.
We're gonna merge it with Avengers.
That'd
Let's
be wild.
hope not. I hope not.
At the very end, Sam Jackson's Nick Fury shows up. He goes, James Bond.
You're like, no.
No.
I want to tell you about the Avengers Initiative.
Yeah.
And Timothy Chalamet as James Bond is like, oh, bro, what is it?
I love fingerling tomatoes or to potatoes. All right.
I'm hesitant, worried, scared for the future of this franchise. I think one of the good things about it is that they give itself time to breathe. I'm worried that we're going to get oversaturated. I don't think, there's talking, people are like, oh yeah, we can get our own Moneypenny spinoff. And I was like, we really need to see
Do we need to?
What are you going to do?
No, she's in love with James Bond. That's
M's
it.
receptionist.
We get it.
We don't need a 10-episode series on Moneypenny.
Yeah.
Just, so I'm worried, but I could be wrong. Maybe they fucking nail it.
I don't know. They have tendencies to water down everything, so...
I think that's just with everything right now. It's just quantity over quality is the Marvel method right now.
Yep.
Which I think they're honestly now realizing that maybe we are pumping too much shit out, and now I think the Fantastic Four is like the only Marvel movie coming out this year, and then we're not getting another one until Doomsday. Which I think is good. Like, we don't need fucking 3 movies and 2 series every year.
Yeah.
I think, the fatigue is set in. And I think that's what I'm more worried about when it comes to Amazon, a company that has unlimited funds. Mm-hmm. Like, are we just going to start cranking these suckers out?
And it's like, if you had unlimited funds, it's like, then why do you feel the need to be like, well, obviously capitalism is the main question, or answer to my question, but like, if you have all this money and now you have the rights to all this stuff, like, why wouldn't you make something that's more like just really fine tune it? Make something that's actually good. But that's just
and you know what? Maybe
they could,
that happens.
yes.
Jeff Bezos is a fucking Bond villain, so maybe I don't know.
So true.
That's what I'm saying. Like,
he's up there going to fucking space for no reason.
Yeah. And then I saw this one interview where he was like, I was sitting on my couch one day. He's like, wonder if I can find one of the boosters from the Apollo missions. He goes to the bottom of the fucking ocean and gets it and puts it in his living room. It's like,
fucking found it. Yeah, there it is. It's right over there.
That's what I'm saying. Like, put some real time into some things. You don't have to keep, make a template and then cut and paste and keep releasing shit. Like, I don't know.
Agree. Yep.
But, so as we exit our Bond franchise, hope springs eternal because now we move to a new franchise. Brandon, you told us we're doing 6 Tom Cruise movies. I don't remember. Did we touch on why you chose Tom Cruise?
I don't think we touched on it, and I was watching, I think one of the Mission Impossibles, and I was like, man, let's do Tom Cruise because he's got a very extensive library.
Yeah.
And I think he's got a wide range of movies, too. To choose
Sure does.
In fact, I found it kind of hard to just choose 2.
Yeah. I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 here, just in case things get chosen.
I got 5.
But, well, with that, why don't we, put Mr. Bond to bed? And let's transition over to Tom Cruise. Brandon, I'll give you the first pick.
All right.
What's your first pick with the bullet for Mr. Cruise? Put it in cruise control, baby.
Eyes Wide Shut.
That was on my list. Eyes Wide
First
Shut.
pick. Let's do it.
All right. Brandon wants to watch orgies so bad. Michael, have you seen Eyes Wide Shut?
No, I've only heard of it.
Don't sound so excited. It is very good. It's just fucking wild. And it's Stanley Kubrick's final film, too. So we get a Kubrick in there, too.
Yes.
Yeah, I've only just heard it's raunchy, but...
There's
Honestly, it's really just one scene.
Okay.
It's pretty deep.
Yeah. Illuminati Orgy 6. Yeah.
Perfect.
As the resident conspiracy theorist on this podcast, I have to go that route. So,
yeah, there you go. Michael, what is your first pick?
Legend.
Legend. I've never seen Legend.
I watched that when I was younger and it scared the shit out of me.
Legend.
This is the first movie since starting this new podcast with y'all. This will be the first movie I haven't seen. I'm excited.
I've never seen this either, but
wow, I know Tim Curry is like the devil in it. All right, my movie. I just have one question for both of you. Did you order the code red? We're doing A Few Good Men.
nice.
Can you guys handle the truth?
I can.
Okay, that has been chosen. All right, Brandon, your last one.
All right, I am going to do a movie that I have never seen as well, that most people have, and I'm going to do Minority Report.
Oh, you've never seen Minority Report?
Never seen it.
That's interesting. Minority. All right, Michael.
Yeah, this one would be fun. I've never seen it, but I would really like to watch Cocktail.
Yes!
Aruba, Jamaica. Ooh, I wanna take you to Bermuda. John Stamos is on the drums. Come on, pretty mama. All right. Well, I still have 3 movies here.
Cold Trickle.
I'm not a big Days of Thunder
No?
guy. No. It's just Top Gun, but NASCAR.
NASCAR, yeah.
I think we would be doing a disservice to Tom Cruise if we didn't at least do a Mission Impossible movie.
Okay.
So I'm gonna choose the first one. Is that? Are we cool with?
Let's do it. Yeah, the first one's great.
That's the only one I've seen.
Oh, for real?
Yeah.
All right, then let's do the second one.
Yeah.
You want to do the second one?
No, we'll do the first one.
Okay.
I think Legend will be the first movie we do.
Yeah.
I think that's
1985.
And then Cocktail.
yeah. And then I would assume A Few Good Men, then Mission Impossible, then Eyes Wide Shut, and then Minority Report will be the last one, I think.
Yeah.
Sick.
Clutch, guys.
Can't wait.
Good spread.
For sure, yeah.
Honestly, I thought this was going to be front-loaded with a lot of action. And I think we just got 2, which is, nice. That means we're getting, I almost... Magnolia is my second favorite film of all time. But it's also like a 3-hour movie, and Eyes Wide Shut is a 3-hour movie, and I was like, kind of the same vein. So let's just even though Magnolia is a fucking perfect film, but awesome. We will be back next time, I believe, with Legend.
Yes,
I would assume so. Cool. Let's go ahead and cover and chant the gate, fellas.
See you guys.
See ya.